And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing the level 80 physical role quest in Final Fantasy XIV. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we are here in Colusia at 2333. We hit level 80 as a Reaper, and we did the level 80 Reaper quest. And we need to talk to Lyrique. So the quest is called Courage Born of Fear. So Lyrique wishes to confront an uncomfortable truth. Mithrie, my friend, my partner, I trust you already? Good, good. That is very good indeed. For before we depart to face Andrea, for what I praise the final time, I have a confession to make. I may have been somewhat misleading when I intimated the tremendousness of my martial prowess. In truth, it rather pales in comparison to yours. Do tell. You must be terribly crestfallen, I am sure. It is my deepest regret that I am allowed you to labour under the misapprehension that we were equals for so long. I didn't believe it for a second. In my defence, I must say that when I realised what an exceedingly powerful warrior you truly are, I was dumbstruck. I struggled to conceive of how even to broach the subject. Furthermore, I must admit that a great majority, nay, all of our efforts to hone our skills in preparation for the battle to come have been entirely for my benefit, that the disparity between us might not be so readily apparent. To think that my insecurities drove me to postpone this fateful day for so long. In my cowardice, I allowed Andrea to assemble a party of followers, where before we might have only to contend with the one foe, we must now confront 5, and all my preparation, I am still no more likely to be an asset to you than a hindrance. But perhaps that need not be the case. In discussing this grim reality with Miss Olvara while you were away, we hit upon a potential stratagem. Recall you Rendere's greatest strength and weakness. Per to natural hearing, we can be reasonably certain that Andrea is possessed of it as well. Therefore, if you were to fashion a device that could produce a loud noise at will, you could use it to secure an advantage in your battle. While lacking strength of arms, and may make up for it with guile. While it will not guarantee us victory, it will surely bring us one step closer. So, 1,000 pardons, Master Reek, but I am come to deliver a message from your Lord Father. Daddy, what does he want with me now? Why, Jack Whitehall? It has come to your Lord Father's attention that you have acquitted yourself rather poorly as a bounty hunter and have brought terrible shame upon your family name. He commands you to cease all such activities at once and return to the city forthwith. Should you fail to do so, you will be stripped of your citizenship and family name. No further financial assistance will be provided. Oh dear. Come on, grow some bollocks. You may tell my father and my mother the following. That I am Lyrique, proud bounty hunter, slayer of sin eaters. That I have no intention of renouncing this cause, and that they are free to do so as they deem fit. Tell them that if they have no son, then I have no parents. That I have no family save Miss Olvara, who has shown me more love than they ever have. Very good, Master Reek. I shall deliver your reply to them at once. I don't care, I get paid either way. Right, now that's settled, we can get to work crafting that giant noisemaker of ours. Let's consult with the craftsman of the Cerulean Mean at once. Or crystalline mean, I should say. Let's say you lit a fire in him, Mithrie. I never thought I'd see the day when he'd muster the courage to say anything like that to his parents. Yeah, but I mean, he said it to their messenger. He didn't say it to their face. Alright, so I need to go back to the Crystarium, to the crafting area. So, let's go. Okay, we made it, so let's talk to Loth. What's all this then? You got something that needs making? Indeed I do, good sir. I wish to commission the production of a device that can generate a tremendously loud sound. It must be small and light and enough to be carried by a single individual as well. Ain't that one of the stranger requests I've heard? Well, if it's just noise you want, then I'd wager we could make do with a special blend of fire sand. I think I've got just the recipe for your needs. I'll need some choice of ingredients, mine, and you'll need to go and fetch them for me. Fetch? What precisely is it that you require? Well, there's one particular beastie native to Galusia what's got a singular diet and leaves these massive dung piles. The fresher the better, if it please. A few varieties of grasses native to Ratika. Oh, and some iron ore from Armorang. I can give you a list if you like. To wit, I would need to travel to far corners of Novrant and back. Oh dear, this is rather more involved than I... Like, don't worry, I can just teleport everywhere. Oh no, no more excuses. I'll do whatever needs be done to see this through to the end. My friend, I will not impose these tasks upon you. I insist that you remain here while I go and fetch the required materials. Yeah, right. Wait for Lurik to return. Okay, we're going to be waiting a while, I think. So, let me go back, I guess, and wait for him. Alright, we've made it to the destination, so let's wait for him. So it was a series of surprisingly harrowing experiences, but in the end I managed to obtain the materials necessary for the construction of my secret weapon. That gentleman was rather accommodating. Despite being somewhat put out that I had not any guild to pay him for his labour, he was nevertheless willing to teach me how to craft the arrows myself. He said that he found my industriousness endearing. I must confess, despite being utterly exhausted by all this busy work, it has been somewhat refreshing. And now that my noisemaker arrows are ready, I cannot wait to put them to the proof. If all goes to plan, the explosion should be loud enough to incapacitate Andrea for a time. Let's put an end to a tale, my friend, and in so doing, write the opening of ours, that of Reek and Mithrie, bounty hunters extraordinaire. Come, Ratika and glory await. Okay. Alright, so we have to go there in Ratika. So, let us go. Okay, so we caught up with Lurik in Ratika, so let's talk to him. So, if I may make one small request before we begin, please, for the love of the gods, please try not to succumb to any visions of people's past. This really could not be a worse time. So commence battle for courage born of fear. Well, are you still with me in the here and now? Excellent. Then we can attend to the task at hand without worry. Let us lay to rest our fellow hunters and grant Randa Ray the peace a hero deserves. Okay, so 5 on 2. Or the real numbers, 1,000,000 versus half. So let's go. Probably should work on the caster first. I don't think that'll be a good idea. Give up. I'll go after the other caster as well. I want to save Enshroud for later, if I have to. Rather just get the casters out of the way. Lurek seems to be okay. Don't know what happened to Andrea and the tank. Ow. The second caster nearly dead. Go after the warrior. Okay, second caster is down. The Apex arrow. Remember it from Final Fantasy XI. Three more to go. Take on the Paladin. Sloppy. Ow. Screw it. Let's do Enshroud. Increase everyone's DPS. See, as long as the Paladin is up, we won't be able to really damage Andrea. Sloppy. Okay, it's nearly done. So now it's just Andrea. Jeez. Okay, let's use that shroud. This shroud is fun. Okay, nearly dead. So we won. Even seeing it and saying it hardly feels real. What is that you got there? The Wicked White, you're in the Ray, the real Render Ray. I should have never betrayed your trust. Never again. I swore. Never again. Balan quits, the Shadowkeeper, the Flood. Come what may, we would face it together. No matter how hard it got or how terrified I was. That's what it means to let someone into your heart, knowing full well that nothing lasts forever. To welcome the fear and the pain, the sorrow. When I lost my parents, when we laid the Keeper low, you felt it too, didn't you? To place our faith in a desperate, hopeless attempt to save everyone, and to see it amount to naught in the end. What else could we do but to offer up that tiny remainder in a final futile effort, even knowing deep down it was worth but a few moments more? What is this? You gave me fear, and that fear gave me strength. Wait, there's so much I want to ask. I don't understand. What was she talking about? It's not right, it's not fair. Heroes sacrificing themselves for nothing, becoming villains, being forgotten. Well... thank you, Mithrie. I could have never gotten this far without your help. I had no idea who Render Ray or any of the other Warriors of Light truly were. It was all ancient history to me. Why would I care who some eaters once were? I was no better than my parents, judging them out of hand, dismissing their sacrifice. not bothering to look deeper. It made it all the easier to pursue Andrea for my own amusement. I pray I've made up for it in part by helping to lay Randare's soul to rest. Miss Olvara is probably worried sick about both of us. We should return to Calusia and let her know that we're alright. Alrighty. Okay. Let's go back to Calusia. Okay, so we caught up with her. Let's talk to her. So, my little Reek Mithrie, congratulations on a job well done. And from one hunter to another, thank you for helping Randare to achieve a measure of peace. She was a hero to me too, and it broke my heart to know what had become of her. To have your legacy tarnished though, to have the world call you villain even still, but at least I can take comfort in knowing that she can finally enjoy a long rest. Whatever other may say, we will preserve the truth in story and song. Randare, the bravest hunter there ever was, and more importantly, a true friend to those she held dear. I can only hope to measure up to her example someday. For now, however, I say that we return to Grisarium and raise a glass in celebration. And he just walks off. It's like, doesn't wait for a yes or a no. So anyway, let's catch up with him in the Crystarium. Okay, we made it back to the Crystarium, so let's talk to him. So, Andrea's bounty has been paid to us in full, my friend. So, come, let us eat and drink and be merry. I've been meaning to ask, Mithrie, but I have the impression that you are rather more acquainted with these warriors of light than you've been letting on. What exactly do you know about them? That is so preposterous a tale that I have no choice but to assume it is true. Offering up their lives to first cross the rift, then to halt the flood. Wicked white. It must have taken us so much courage to see it through in those final moments. A courage born not of a desire for glory or dedication to an ideal, but of fear and love for those with whom she had forged unshakable bonds, her comrades. I won't pretend that we have anything even approaching such a powerful connection, but I would like to think that if you were in mortal peril, that I would fly to your side without hesitation. Having said that, if I were tested as Randare were, if I were challenged to offer up my life for others without even knowing if it would amount to aught, I doubt I could rise to the occasion. I am a child and a fool who knows little of the world. I have coddled and spoiled, and have only just teased the bitter fruits of life that you and countless others sup on a daily. You are made of sterner stuff, Mithrie, far sterner than me, and that is why I know I can never walk your path. No shame in that. Oh, but there is. I cannot recall a time I have felt happier and more alive than when I have travelled with you. But you have countless other journeys ahead of you, don't you? For you are destined for greater challenges, whereas I am suited to a rather more pedestrian affairs. Know your limits, as Miss Olvara used to say. Meeting her again after all these years, seeing how much older and more frail she'd become, made me realise how little time together we have left. She shouldn't have to live out her days living alone in squalor. I have decided it will not be so. I shall return to Calusia and attend to her needs, for I would do my utmost to repay the love of kindness that made me the man I am today. Therefore, though it pains me to say it, I fear this celebration must also mark the end, or at the very least, a tentative suspension of the glorious partnership that was Reek and Mithrie, bounty hunters extraordinaire. Should you ever find yourself in Calusia, however, do come and pay us a visit. Cool, that's complete. Nice. So that's the melee role quest done. Or the physical DPS, I should say. And all that's left is the healer ones. So, anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys.